to you in 3D, so groovy that I just need. I know you're jiggling on you. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Chaos 963. Coming to you live from shot listen, Chaos 963. Doing it to you in 3D, so groovy that I dig me. Hope you digging on you. I'm sure enough digging on me. Yeah. Got a little something on share on today. I know you don't like it. So, bring it. I'm going to bring it. Just bear with me, little pages, a couple of buttons to click. So I know everything's going to stick. And that was up. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Experiment with a lot of stuff, trying to get the best I can get. And I'm getting closer and closer to it. Close as I can get, I'm going to get. Coming to you live from a studio. I used to say that tongue in cheek. Now I'm not so much tongue in cheek no more. I mean, I had to get a couple of squirrels to run the electricity and some more stuff. I had to get the internet tweaked in it. Man, you name it. I just did it to get it and shown up. Stay with it. Listen, got my information scrolling across the bottom. Get a chance. I'll let it feel. Let me know what's on your mind, what's on your heart, what's on your spirit. And I'll be sure to get back with you. Yes, I will. Especially if you got something to share for real. I'm starting to look for some folks to share some stuff. Looking for some folks to share with. So, Cash App, PayPal, Chaos 963, Twitter, Chaos 963, Instant Messaging, Chaos 963HZ. Plenty of ways to make your presence known. You can. This is the fourth day of the fast, and it gets you kind of goofy. It'll get you kind of goofy. It will. But we all right. Yes, we will be all right. Check my numbers so I don't check the recording later on. Don't have nothing. Not be cool out. Right now, it's appears that it's kind of stumbling on the volume side. Check. It is not like I like to be. Like to be a little bit harder than that. Yes, I would. Just a little bit harder than that. I hope you hear me all righty tighty. Because in a second, I'm going to do a switcheroo so I can know that I'm reaching you. I do not like the way you're looking. It'll trick you. Boy, you think you get through and you ain't. One more look, if you don't mind. Hope you have a great day. Mine has been incredible. Tell you, when you get up in this groove, boy, you be like, woo, hello. It's truly a powerful thing, but you start talking about dealing with the spirit, and you lose some of the flesh. The flesh be laying down. Consequently, when you lose it, you be like, ooh, I need to just sit over here for a minute and let it go. Fast is a beautiful thing. If you haven't tried it, I would encourage you because it's a step above. It's nuclear stuff. You're not supposed to. It's a nuclear weaponry at this point. Yes, you are. Nuclear weapon. So, man, it's okay. I guess it's good as it's going to get. But I mean, I'm not saying Nathan. And sometimes it's really weird. I go to play it back and it'll be like blast. So I get we'll see. Maybe do it. Yeah, I'm not getting the volume on. I'm going to push one more button. Just one more button. And then we're going to get right chick. Yes, we are. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. I'll play the word. Alright, 1 second. Just 1 second. Boy, man, I'm finna figure it out. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep messing with it till I get it all figured out. I am. Chaos 963 do it to you in 3D. So good that I dig me. As I said, I hope you dig it on you. Working on this system here, trying to get to be the best it can be. And I'm experimenting with a lot of different things. I've been watching the other cats how they do it, and they be doing some stuff that I kind of like. So I try to bite into it, and some of it's good, some of it ain't. You got you got to be careful, boy. You go on YouTube and you ask, well, how do you do this? And man, they'll have you hunting, hunting rabbits. So you be all off at the wrong place for sure, thinking that you're getting it, but you are not gonna be getting it. You're gonna be doing something real strange. Let me see. It just don't seem to want to tighten up. Okay, one more again. Sure we are. One more again. Do it like this. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, okay. Lot better. Lot better. I want that mic for the quality, but till I work the final kinks out on that, we're gonna work with this. Can I get a witness somewhere up in the house? So then, you read the title, man. We coming to you talking about spiritual suicide, and man, folks is doing it. Get the razor blades out the house. Cats is cutting their spiritual wrists, and it's like all of it, it's by plan. There's no accident. You know, the powers that be, white supremacy, they uh they took flipped and dipped and switched everything they could so that the power that is ours by law, I like that, um, folks is not tapping into. One of the first things they did, when we come over here, is they stole the culture, the language, and in that they they separated us from the culture and the language. Let me tell you, if you don't have culture, man, you don't have nothing. But our people were smart, man. They held on. They did all kind of super slick things. They embedded the culture in different things. Obviously, some of the songs and spirituals and whatnot, the culture was in there. But they were forbid to use uh, their language, and they were forbid to deal in their habits, their cultures, their ways. And so that'd be like, you know, right now, if you weren't able to tap into your culture, then eventually you would die, man. Culture's that serious. I'm gonna pour these libations up, and we're gonna get knee deep. You know why I pour libations? A quick overhead, because part of our culture was that there was no separation in time, and that the ancestors were with us now, here and now. It's not like they go on and their existence stopped. No, there is no ending to the energy that they have. So when they make the transition, they merely change energy forms. And into that, they're able to still uh, communicate. And that communication is in the now, not in the yesterday. Spiritually, African spirituality embraces the fact, the truth that we are living in a part of time that is not just linear. We are actually living in the past, present, and the future. This time here that we are in right here is um, the now. But we are not in any way, shape, fashion, or form cut off from the past or the future. And that's why you have folks, that literally predict the future, and that's why you have folks that literally can go into the Akashic records and read your past. So, with that understanding, the spiritual belief that the European has is that it's linear. Once you get to here, you're dead, boom, it's over, and then things move on. And so that's one of the ways we cut ourselves off. That's one of the ways that we commit spiritual suicide. So let me pour these libations, man, and then we're gonna get into it. Not just knee deep, not just knee deep. To the family that is here with me now, to my ancestors that are present, I give honor to you. I give place to you in my life, and I acknowledge you and give you the respect due. Daddy, Ashe. Julia, Ashe. Freddie, Ashe. Demetria, Ashe. Diana, Ashe. Wayne, Ashe. Dwayne, Ashe. Edward, Ashe. Thaddeus, Ashe. Janice, Ashe. To the deities, Ashe. Mother Nature, Ashe. Father Time, Ashe. Papa Legba, Ashe. Uh, get these ones I got here. Oh, yeah. Almaambe, Ashe. Omek, Ashe. Venush, Ashe. Heteru, Ashe. Lakshmi, Ashe. Otentia, Ashe. Kolula, Ashe. Olivia, Ashe. Aunt Olivia. I knew I was forgetting somebody in there. Beleth, Ashe. Balaam, Ashe. Zagan, Ashe. Piamon, Ashe. Vinay, Ashe. Hercules, Ashe. Muhammad Ali, Ashe. Bala Ashe, Person Ashe, Asmodee Ashe, Zerbanda Ashe, Cristo Negro Ashe, Cristo Reyes Ashe, Lo Rodo Ashe, Lo Petro Ashe, Oshun Ashe, Isdil Ashe, Isvil Ashe, Shango Ashe, Chango Ashe, Oya Ashe, Ashe Ashe, Yameo Ashe, Abeliani Ashe, Obatala Ashe, Ogun Ashe, Ogu Ashe. And all the ancestors known and unknown, I say, all your ancestors known and unknown, I say, all the deities known and unknown, I say. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I'm gonna have to pick that up. Ain't no excuse. Yeah, fast or no fast. Find the energy. I remember when I was a kid, man, my grandpa he'd take me fishing every now and then, and it was quite the thing, right? But it was interesting because like you go early, get out there, eat safe for the fish wake up. And for some reason, my little mind, I thought, really, they sleep? Okay, well, okay, well, let's get them before they wake up. Then I guess, yeah, I guess they sleep. How they sleep? Standing up. so, but it'd be interesting because he would come down. I'm speaking about energy, heightening my energy when I do my ashe, when I do my representation in my to the spirits, and he would. like I say, get up early and we go fishing on. But I remember like my grandma and my mom would, try to wake me up. I'm in a reasonable hour, get up, go to school or get up and whatever it was that they was getting me up for, right? And oh man, I'd be like, oh man, like trying to shake that sleep, because I was just, I like sleep and I not I didn't really, sleep like a bunch of hours like a lot of folk, but when I slept, and getting up too early after my late nights, uh, my late nights as a kid, right? But I wouldn't want to get up. But now, on the other hand, now I'm talking about putting the energy into my shades now. My grandpa would come down and you want to go fishing, boy? Man, you know, and before he'd be out the room, I'd be up and dressed, man. I'd be up and dressed. Think about that. If it's something you want to do, you don't have no problem doing it. But when it comes to other things, you got a problem. That's where we missing that as a folk, man. That's what I'm gonna speak on a little bit on today about being more disciplined. You know, there's things that have to be done, and then to that you got to do them. It's not rocket science. It just has to be done. And if you want to progress and have success and whatnot, you got to do it. You got to put the work in, man. And it's really, I used to say work and all, and it is, I guess, of some degree level of work, but for the most part, man, it's handled. And again, that's part of that there, asking your ancestors for a little help, man, and they will come in like gangbusters, like gangbusters, and they will truly make it happen, truly. And I mean, they'll set stuff aside and move mountains and some more stuff, but they're gonna make it happen. So it was just interesting, I thought back on that. He come to get me to go fishing, man. I mean, I'll shake the cobwebs loose. I'd have me a double shot of espresso coming up out that bed, right? But other things, not so much. Right now, man, for this move here, I done took a triple shot of espresso. I'm in it and gonna win it. Can't lose, man. This is day 4 of my 40, and I'm finna go to Mark. Let me show you my weigh-in from this morning. And man, that's just all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Not taking no hostages, no prisoners, and winning, winning. We done won already. I look at it even at it's already won. It's already won. Imagine the concept that I was sharing with you earlier about things, the time not being in linear for us is I don't know what the word would be, but it's not, old girl speaks about that, it's my girl from what's called, Manambe. And that's powerful, man. But no, it is not, it's not linear, man. It's circular. It's circular. So we got to deal with it as such. Look at this weigh-in, right? And I guess I'm gonna look at it. I should have had it right here. I had it right here. Oh, we gonna have it now. Y'all. They playing, but I'm not playing. I'm not playing, but maybe is that it? That must be it. Yeah, here we go. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Oh, well, this is yesterday. You didn't see this one either. I'll put this one up, man. While I'll find the other one directly. Oh no, that's not the. Bear with me 2 seconds. 1 second. I'd already posted it, but I just felt led to post it again right quick. if you don't mind. Well, I guess what's weird, I marked it special, right? I guess I did. I'm not gonna belabor the point. Man, well that's kind of weird though. I titled it and named it and did all the other stuff to go with it, but I don't see it right now. But anyway, I came in. I'm at 265 now, and lost 5 pounds, and and that's people 265. No, I'm a big dude, so I care. The average person wouldn't even notice. Just but you'll be seeing it in a minute when this stuff starts melting. Coming all off my face and whatnot, 'cause it is definitely a lot of weight gonna be shaved, and I'm happy about it. Like they say in boxing, I'm getting down to my fighter's weight, right? Cause I'm in it, man. I'm gonna sock him up. Getting back to the thing, though, man, we're talking about spiritual suicide, and I say suicide because these are self-committing wounds here. Folks doing stuff that they know they shouldn't do and need to be doing differently and need to be doing better, but just don't. And because with spiritual suicide, it's not like regular suicide. Oh, you have to forgive me, boy. That you be drying out, the water be cleaning, and it be working. But it's not like regular suicide. Regular suicide is pretty quick. I mean, if you do a quick move, gunshots and knives, razor blades, and pills. By comparison, because spiritual suicide, man, it could happen over years, but it happens. And I'm telling you right here and now, I done explained many times. I was brought up in the Christian church, and the spirit was there. But we bring the spirit with us. It ain't like the spirit is at the church waiting. That's insane. You know, the people are it, and they bring the spirit. And so I went in, and it was it was beautiful, man. And as I grew and learned over years and years, I realized that I outgrew it, for lack of a better word, when I realized that what this was what. And then even from the beginning, I was like, man, this ain't quite fitting. It ain't quite making sense. You start talking about a dude 40 days in the desert, from Africa, and he's a white cat with blue eyes. I'm like, come on, man, that does not work. And I'm amazed at how many people still try to embrace that, and even more so, But the indoctrination is deep. And they don't spread that all over the land. But when you learn the truth, that because all of this comes from African spirituality, when you start learning that and understanding the plan, then you see it, and then you change it up. But always from the beginning, there was things that just didn't sit right, and one of them being the white Jesus. Really? Okay, that's not working. And then some of the other things were just is equally concerning. You the died and raised in 3 days, and the 3 days was really, it was really 2 days. And I'm like, well, okay, well, maybe they counted them different then. And then just, I mean, on and on and on, everything about, the slavery component really got me. They had a Bible called the Slave Bible. You ever get a chance, look that up. And it shows further manipulation of the Bible, and they had it so doctrined up. Because that stuff is not in there. The majority of the things that you see when you go to the original text that they took that from, it's not there. And I mean, this stuff, is easily researched. You go starting with the different councils that they had. Constantine wanted to hook it up so that the spiritual component worked for him. And so one of the things, the thing he did was he humified. He gave the people humor. Anyway, he made them human. He gave them natural thing. Well, this happened. Well, no, there was no Jesus character. The word Jesus wasn't even around, and all that stuff is studyable. And so, take a look at it. But into that, I realized like, well, now this just don't wash. And I worked for it to wash. I tried for it to work and studied hard. And the harder I studied, the more askew it went. And then when I start, well, let me look at it from the other side, and then from the other side, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. This is some garbage here, man. This could raise from and all that, and no, that didn't happen. And you talk to serious scholars, they'll tell you. You go online and find it. They don't mind telling you. What's that one? Who is this king? Who's I can't think of the name of it right now. But man, that dude lays it out. And then you got Broder and them cats. They tear it up. First time I saw Broder, man, I was like, and he's made like probably 100 trips over to Africa. They over there doing digs and stuff in Africa. And he said when he got over there and started seeing the stuff on the walls and start reading the original stuff, the stuff that you can't hardly get to, 'cause they go over there and do them ancient digs. They take that stuff back and put it in a museum or put it in a university, and only certain people can have passes to get at it and all that. But man, we don't even be seeing it. And then the more I study, the more we learning about these different books. And I'm gonna talk about them. I need to get on them because that's all there is to it. But because of that, we didn't get the genuine article, not in its totality. And so a lot of the things we do that separate us from the spirit was indoctrinated into us. They told us, well, you don't really need your original language and all. And now the reason that's important is because the original language, the language we had, was anointed. There were certain words like let's see, the Jews, they say God is the name of God is unspeakable. And I'm like, okay. With that understanding, you have to realize that certain vibrations are powerful. The simple vibration of the word Amen, that is powerful. So they realized if we brought our words and used our words, then that would create some energy that they didn't want to have. Now they didn't have the total understanding of it then, but they realized that they didn't want to be able to communicate and move on the level that we were moving in because they saw the spirituality. They really did. They tried to convince everybody else. Well, no, they're the heathens and all that, and we bought that ticket too. And then you look at over there, boy, that don't look like no heathen hut to me. They got skyscrapers and everything like everybody else. So into that, when they told us, you can't use your dialogue and you can't use your spirituality because we didn't have no religion. We didn't know again. I told you about some words yesterday, that they didn't have, jail and whatnot. Didn't have no word for. Well, they had no word for the stuff that they doing over here, devil and all that. What is that? And the theories and concepts. Go to hell and burn forever. That's what you're loving God. Well, oh no. So when they put the spin dolly down on that, they did all they could to stay away from it. But I mean, we was in bondage 400 and something years, and it is taking its toll. You have to read girl to be talking about uh, post traumatic slave syndrome. She breaks it down. She breaks it down. And the fact is, I don't care who you are, you can't be in slavery. You can't be coming out of slavery and still being oppressed, and you can't be abused and misused for hundreds of years and don't think you're gonna have some psychosis working, man. You're gonna have some problems. And we do. And I don't, like she said so eloquently and funny as all get out, she said, I don't remember seeing she said, I don't remember seeing them sending the psychiatrist in. I don't remember seeing them, trying to help us out with, our minds, man, that they had totally destroyed. You get up one morning and they just kill your baby right in front of you, and you go back to sleep and you can't say nothing, nothing, man, and think you'll be all right. Okay, And it even goes deeper than that. If it wasn't you, you see your cousin over there go through. You see neighbor Nick over here. He just got his head, and you going back to the hut, and then as you go back to the hut, here come this animal, and he want to rape you tonight. Man, even now when I think about that stuff, man, I mean, I'm just like, really, you know. And the thing that gets me is that folk be still, oh, it's okay, kumbaya, wop wop wop. Not so, man, not so much. So, but in the point being made here is that because when we were taken away from all these things, it has caused us to deal with our spirituality wrong. We hear moves and feel moves, and we feel urgings from the spirit, and we ignore it because we've gotten so far away from that. We talk about things like candles and tar cars and whatnot, and we stay away from that because they talk, man, that is spookism, and that's voodoo, and that stuff's no good. Come to find out, voodoo, man, come on, man. It ain't nothing but the way they worship. They did stuff, man, and they get it and they put it on TV and all the stuff. Diamond. They had this one movie that cat had cut me into about I think it's like the 30s or so, maybe a little later, but around the 30s, and it was seriously crazy, black and white now, and they show they showed the black people eating people. They would take the white people and put them in pots and. I'm like, wow, man, they just had it. They had the spindali going on, man. I'm talking about full-fledged propaganda. And it ain't no different than today, man. I stay up a little, current with this news and all, and every day they got some madness on there. They promoting this thing now that black people are mad with the Asians, that we the ones attacking Asians. I'm like, come on, man, come on, really? Many times I've seen videos of sisters up in Asian stores getting tackled and beat up and punched in the mouth by men. Man, y'all need to just come on, keep it real for a minute. If you just kept it real for 1 minute, man, you would see it. But for the most part, most of my folk, man, my people done got twisted, and you trying to you trying to buddy up with Homer over there, and I'm like, man, that is not gonna work. That is not gonna work, man. I mean, the Bible says, "Love not your oppressor," and man, please. And to the point now, every face I see on TV is black. The head police is black, and he's on. Yes, well, I don't think that it was a hate thing. It wasn't racial. Really? Okay. So everybody, they put all these talking heads up in front of us, and want us to believe that e- everything has changed. Then the biggest talking head, oh man, I'm not even gonna go there yet. Talking about Obama, man. But into that, as we move in the spiritual things, when we do not acknowledge the spirit, aka lamentations and uh, just listening. The spirit keep telling you and nudging you, not to do something, and you continue to do it. After a while, that you're not gonna hear him, and that's what's happening. We do not hear, and by not hearing and not obeying, that is suicide, spiritual suicide, because we tend to then get further and further and further away, and we know it's the spirit. You talk about being pre-wired. That's pre-wired in you. When I was up in the joint, them cats used to come in and they would say, man, something told me not to go that night. And I'd be like, really? Well, what do you think that something was? Something told me, man, that old girl wasn't right, man. Really? Okay. All right. Every one of them, practically 90, 95%, something told me. Something told me it wasn't going to be good that night. Sure enough. That's spiritual suicide, man. You're not following the move, the voice, the urging of the spirit. It's not going to go well for you. And it hadn't been. And what's going on now, folks know, man, look, and the churches is packed. I'm like, you know that ain't right. Preachers is fornicating and screwing little kids and just whoop de whoop, and folk run right back up in there. I'm like, man, look, I don't know if you noticed, but that's not really biblical, as your Bible says. Then this thing, if nothing else, didn't prove it to you. Who you think voted Trump in? Yes, the white church, man. They voted Trump in. The evangelicals. And still, waving his pom poms, man. And will tell you, and who you think was doing the lynchings? They advertised the lynchings at the church. After church, after church, we're gonna go down and we got one. No, I'll document. Google it, man. You'll see it. So if you know to do better and don't, man, you are without a leg to stand on. You have no excuse. And eventually that thing's gonna die. It's like anything. Atrophy. It's over, man. It's gonna die and fall off. And you're gonna be sitting there without a soul. Listen to your spirit, man. I mean, the word tell you, you have angels watching over you, man. What do you think that is? You keep getting these unctions, man. Something's telling me that don't sound like a good deal. What do you think that is? That's the spirit. Okay, let's make this plain for you. That's the spirit world trying to communicate with you. Most of the spirit world are prehistoric, man. They 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 were around before the language and stuff. Man, English and all that. No, they are super beings, man. They're spirits, and you are too. So they don't communicate, man. When we was really showing off here, man, we didn't talk. We thought. So when you start getting these feelings and these unctions, just start following them, man. And then the more you follow them, the more you'll recognize it. You'll recognize the voice. You'll recognize the urging. You'll recognize that you're being led. You'll recognize that something gave you that dream. You'll recognize and understand the interpretation of the dream. They talking. They talking all the time. Now it's time for you to listen, because if not, suicide, suicide, suicidal maniacs, man. Suicidal maniacs trying to keep doing what you've been doing and expecting a different outcome. I'm telling you, it ain't that the prayer trip over there ain't happening, man. They've been tricking and deceiving, man. I'm talking about lynching the other day going, that was there with a lynching, man. What? You had a lynching last week, man. And then you get these women here, my son, they killed my son. They killed my son. And the first thing they tell you is that she was a praying woman. Well, they'll tell you if you praying to anything outside of yourself, you're in trouble. It ain't gonna work, man. It's time to get in line with the real and make the real work. I'm gonna get out of here, man. I wanted to share that little thing with you. I'll be up first thing in the morning. Probably I'm gonna start doing a regular time, maybe 9 o'clock my time. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock central. I'm gonna be doing my little weigh in and sharing a little something, making it do what it do, 'cause that's what I do. I got the candles. Get a candle. Let me say. You say get a candle. Life, life. I'm gonna start talking about. I'm getting settled in. The more settled in I'm getting, the more air I'll be able to cover. But I'm start showing you different sigils and explain to you which ones do what and how you could tap into the power. And they just ready, man. They ready. They waiting. They wonder, man, how come old boy go through all that? How come he get all them knots on his head, man? I could have helped him out. He could have he could have been not free, not free, but not free. So yeah, I'm giving them away, but I'm finna stop that, man. Folk, man, I'm feeling it, man. And I'm doing what's working. Yeah, I'm on to the next move. I usually say you can take a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. So a cat don't want to drink. I don't tell you. But this is real, man. This is the real stuff. That other stuff is the fake, man. It is, man. And by you participating in that willfully, spiritual suicide, man. You killing yourself. I be watching my people kill themselves on all levels. How you gonna go look? You see what Black Lives Matter did? They gave 90 million. Black Lives Matter. And they keep putting these white faces up. Black Lives Matter is some white people, man. The white dudes want to started that and got that going. $90 million, man. Didn't see a dime in the neighborhood. $90 million. They went all over getting money, man. And you know where they gave millions to? The Democratic Party. It's in their little thing they advertise. How you gonna take money from people from the suffering and the murder of black people and give it to the, I'm just wondering, man. I'm just saying. That is not right. If it's right for you, work for you, okay. See, because bottom line, man, I'm doing this for all I know to do. But every day I get a word from the Spirit. Here, man, talk about this. When I first started doing this, I got it from a word from the Spirit. He said, man, you need to do that. I'm like, and I argue with him, I know the voice of the Spirit. But I told him, man, I'm not really with that, man, because I know how these cats are. And I was right, you know, in bondage, man. And even when I was in the church, the strongest demon I ever saw is a religious demon. That spirit wrap a cat up and be mummified. I said, man, y'all need to shake that, man. That is not what the way that is. And then I got out and started looking and reading and studying. I was like, oh man. And it's right in front of your face. The biggest emphasis on the planet, the pyramids and whatnot. And everything they talk about is your African spirituality. They ain't talking about no Christians, man. There was Christians though. There was Christians before this Christ. Because the Christ energy, that's a whole different thing. Whole different thing. But it's real. It's real. But it ain't no Jesus Christ. Oh, I said that. I gotta go now. Woo, woohoo. Chaos 963, day 4 of the fast. Can't you see? Man, I'm like feeling it. Get off of here and go sit down somewhere for real. Cause kind of drained. First days, like I was explaining, is rough. But after a while, you hit this spot, boom, and then it's just it levels out, man. So I'm gonna get to that level out point, and then it's on. It's on. Chaos 963 doing it to you in 3D. So groovy that I dig me. Hope you dig you. I'll talk to you a little later.